And we're back! Once again, I'm your host Jethro, and in this second half of the session, I'll be covering another 3 more topics to teach you how to boost the efficiency of your editing on Lightroom. Knowing how to be efficient with your editing workflow is just as important as knowing how to edit your photos. Work smart, not work hard is what I say. The rule of thumb that it can take 1 hour of editing for every hour of shooting is not an exaggeration. You may find that sorting through your photos right after a shoot is one of the most tedious parts of your entire workflow. So it is highly important to be able to streamline this process to ensure that you don't spend too much time on just selecting photos and doing essential edits. Imagine that if you're back from covering an event and you had to deliver 100 photos to your client. If you edited each photo one by one from scratch, after selecting them manually from the hundreds of photos you have taken, it can take hours upon hours just to settle the logistical portion of your post-processing. So to accomplish this, I'll be showing you what you can do to be faster and more efficient when you post-process your photos. In part 1, I'll show you how to quickly select your photos through Lightroom's rating system. And in part 2, I'll teach you how to create your very own presets. And lastly, for part 3, I'll be teaching you what batch editing is like. To expedite your selection of photos to edit, you can use Lightroom's rating system. So you can rate your photos from 1 to 5 stars in order to separate the good photos that you plan to use from the bad photos that should never see the light of day. So in my library, as you can see here, I've already imported a selection of images to sort through. To start rating them, first select an image here, and then now you can decide whether you want to rate them either 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 stars. So in this case, with values ranging from 1 to 5, you can assign a numerical value to each image, with each value representing something different. So for me, I usually work on a binary system where it's either just 1 or 5 stars to keep things simple. Images with 1 stars will be marked for deletion, like these that I'm selecting here, and images with 5 stars will represent the ones that I did like to edit. So this tiered system ensures that you only have to go through the images once and ideally not more than twice. This is a huge time saver when it comes to dealing in large quantities of images. So once you have assigned your ratings to all your images, you can filter them. So you will go to rated and then you will select 5 stars or more. So in this case, you can see that the images that are ranked 5 stars are all selected, whereas everything else that was below 5 stars is not selected at all. So these will be the images out of the whole lot that I'll be editing. You have already made a selection of photos in record time. So let's touch on how you can speed up the editing as well. After all, in almost every photo, there are many mundane edits in Lightroom that you should be carrying out. And you can save time by creating presets that perform these jobs automatically. So what are presets? Presets are essentially a configuration of pre-saved settings designed to achieve a certain look or style to your photo. So presets will help you do these edits faster than with a standard editing workflow. So here's how you create your own presets. You start by editing one of your photos, going through your typical workflow. So once you have an edit you like, you click on the presets button here below the editing panel. Click on the plus icon on the top right hand of the presets panel and click create preset. In the create preset window, you can enter a name for your preset. In this case, I'm just going to call it preset 1. And then you can select the group menu and choose or create a group for your preset. If not, the presets you create will be under the user presets group by default. Then next is make sure you select which categories or edit settings you want to include in the preset. And then once you're done, you click create. And then now your custom preset appears in the preset panel, ready for you to apply on other photos. Beyond basic edits, presets also help to ensure that there is some form of continuity and standardization between all your work. This helps you to build your own distinct style and color such that people can easily recognize your branding and style just from seeing your work. From here, you can apply your preset to every other photo that you need to edit. As you can see here, I have a photo that's unedited, and here's our preset that we made earlier. Simply click on the preset and to apply the editing that you have done on the original photo to this photo. So if lighting conditions are the same, chances are you won't need to do any more changes to color. But if not, then you will need to do some minor adjustments. I'll teach you 2 ways that you can apply any changes that you add on beyond your preset to multiple photos. The first method is the copy-paste technique. What you do is that you right click on your photo, and then you go to develop settings, and after that select copy settings. Once you make sure that the essential components are checked, you click copy, and then now you go on to your unedited images. To select multiple photos, first left click the leftmost image, and then follow up with a shift right click on the last image that you want to select. Now you right click on any of the highlighted images and go to develop settings and select paste settings. And then now all the edits that you have done on your previous photos, including any adjustments, is reflected on all these photos as well. The second method is known as synchronization. Synchronization lets you take a series of edited photos and allows you to keep tweaking them by applying new changes to just one of the images, which will synchronize across the rest. This is great for when you can apply corrections onto various batches of photos after applying your presets and other adjustments. So this is how you do it. First, make the necessary corrections onto your anchor image. So I'll select this image here. Let's say I would like to make everything warmer and maybe a bit more purple, like so. Okay, once you're done, what you do is that you highlight the other images that you want to apply the changes to by holding down the shift key and then clicking on the last image in the group. Next, you go to the synchronize settings panel, which is this over here. Click on this and then make sure to click on the boxes for the changes that you do want to be synced, and then press synchronize. Now, any changes they have made in the anchor photo will be reflected in every other photo that you're synced to. As you can see, these other photos are now all much warmer, much like the very first photo. Let's do a recap on what we have learned so far. Firstly, we talked about how we can quickly select the photos that we want to edit through rating them. Next, we learned how we can easily and quickly complete base edits through the creation and usage of presets. And lastly, we took note on how we can batch edit large amounts of photos as well. And together, these three techniques will allow us to save a large amount of time when it comes to post-processing. I hope you have picked up some new tips and tricks to help with post-processing on Adobe Lightroom. With so many functions, Lightroom may feel daunting, but with constant practice, anyone will be able to master these tools and elevate their editing. With that, that's the end of the Lenovo Masterclass on photo editing. Once again, my name is Jethro, and thank you so much to everyone who joined me today. I hope that you all have a good one.